Sportowe emocje pod koszem zapewnia Anwil, sponsor strategiczny klubu.
Dzień dobry, piątek, 17 marca, parę minut po godzinie 12. 2 dni od fantastycznego meczu z Gaziantepem i 2 dni do bardzo ważnego meczu z twardymi piernikami Toruń w Energa Basket Lidze. To spotkanie będzie miało dodatkowy smaczek. Uhonorujemy na nim, podczas tego spotkania uhonorujemy kolejną postać akcji Drużyna 30-lecia, esencja Drużyny 30-lecia, a gościem tego meczu, czy bohaterem tego meczu będzie Josip Sobin, którego serdecznie witam. Dzień dobry, Josip.
Dzień dobry.
I jest z nami oczywiście Hubert Hejman. Dzień dobry, Hubert.
Cześć.
No cześć. Josip, jak się czujesz?
Dobrze, a to jest interview po polsku czy po angielsku?
Będzie po angielsku, ale chciałem po polsku. Hubert zarekomendował, żeby tak zacząć.
Jest dobrze, jestem po tym wygraniu bardzo ważnym, jest wszystko dobrze, ale teraz mamy ważny mecz z Toruniem, który musimy wygrać. I to jest to.
Świetnie sobie radzisz w naszym języku. To jest taka ciekawostka. Josip doskonale wszystko rozumie. Z mówieniem, tak powiedziałbym, jest dobrze. Zawsze może być lepiej. Myślę, że tutaj jeszcze progres. But we are switching into English. It will be more comfortable for you, for sure. The most exclusive material ever, the most exclusive interview ever for me, for Hubert as well, I think, because you know why. Because
It's only one.
Because at the beginning of our story, on one of the first meetings back in 2016, you asked me for not participating in any media or marketing issue stuff. That if I can skip you.
I remember. And if you want to ask why, it's because there is like simple answer. Some people like interviews, this media kind of stuff, some don't. So I'm the guy that don't. Maybe my wife would say I'm like introvert. And so somebody's extrovert want this, but not me. So if I have to do it, okay. But I'm rather not to participate like a lot in this.
Much more comfortable you feel in the paint.
Yes, on a court I feel much more comfortable. On interviews I feel comfortable now, but it's not like I like it so much. That's all it is.
And what you want to do with Michał Boxels in this interview?
Something like this. But you didn't have any problems for the whole years of our cooperation when we asked you for, let's say, participating in animals, charity events. You didn't have any kind of big problems.
No, I wouldn't say I have problems with the interview or anything like, but it's just I don't like media interview. This just I don't like. That's it. Like I can participate everything. I have no problems. I even like these charity things when we were recently in an animal shelter, and I like it really.
Okay, so let's start this points of the interview. One of the points is, of course, the reason of our meeting here, Hall of Fame, and this theme of this whole history of our club of 30 years. How do you feel being one of these chosen guys?
I have to say it's honor to me, but like it's very special honor because like when you play some game that you get applause, people support you, that you feel honor, or you win a championship or something big. But this is like kind of different because it's like 30 years. It's a lot of time. It's like to these fans here, it's everything about this club, all time of the club. So how many good players were in this time in a club, and when you count all this, it's like you see how how much big is this for me. To be between two of the best, it's great, and Otis Hill is first, right? And I know Otis. I mean, when I was young, he played in split. I was 17, 18, so I was we were in the same team, so I know how dominant he was then, probably here too. I didn't watch the clips from here, but I know how good player he was.
He was like an offensive machine. You can play both.
Yeah, I remember. He was just dominating. He was big. He was huge, and like to be with him in the same level and above probably other centers that were not chosen. It's really unbelievable for me.
Do you think is it possible that Aussies can remember you from that play because you?
I don't think so. I don't think so. Because I was young, I was not playing. I was in junior team. As I remember, just some practices, not even playing. Like I was going to trips, but not playing. Just sitting on a bench. So probably no.
Well, that's a nice story that you know each other. Now we try to invite Otis if he can answer Michal's emails.
I'm still pushing him, but we haven't selected any date and games yet. Josip, Hall of Fame is something big for you. You couldn't imagine that you will be selected to this kind of theme when you signed the first papers here. It was 7 years ago.
Unbelievable. Of course, you don't even think about it, but because when you sign somewhere, you don't know how much you'll be there. You don't know if you will win championship and be the best player, or you will fail, be like not good, so you'll change club or something. So you never know you don't know what to expect there when I came here. So like you have to put a lot of hard work, you have to be lucky of course, and then after 1, 2, 3 years, like how much I stayed, things like this happen.
Can you remember the beginnings of Josip here?
I remember a meeting with Josip's agents at Coach Medicic in Warsaw, but he first mentioned Josip's name together with other players, that he will try to convince Josip to come from the Spanish league to Polish league. It seemed to us it would be hard work, and it was kind of.
We weren't playing in the European Cups.
We weren't. We were after semi-finals. We were trying to rebuild, and you mentioned you don't know what to expect. What were your expectations, Josip? What did Igor say to you to convince you to come to Polish league? You remember?
Not too much for what he said, but I remember the situation generally. I didn't want to stay in the same club that I was in Spain. So I was looking for something else, and always people ask like why you went somewhere, but it's very hard to answer this because like you want to go somewhere, you talk to the agents, they talk to the clubs, and then you get some offer from somebody, and you have probably some time to say yes or no. If you agree with the terms, everything, then you have to decide, like you say yes or no. And I decided to say yes when I was coming here. Then I knew Igor is Croatian and he was coach, but you don't know a lot of things, so you have to guess it.
So what kind of things do you pay attention to? Money, for sure.
Of course, we all play about money and work about money. But there are some other things that are also important, like who is the coach?
Okay.
If you don't know the coach, then you will ask some players that were working with this coach. Like the coaches, when they want players, they ask other coaches, other players. how is the practices. Will there be a good system for you, or after 1-2 months you will see it's not for you? Like, you have to know this to make sure after you give all your effort that there will not be some problems that take you away from this path. But I would say after money and contract that you will work for, of course, this how you will play thing is most important. Because some players will say like cities like this, countries like this, food is like this. I don't know, many details will find to go or not to go somewhere. But as I see it, most important is how will you play. Because if you play good, if your team play good, you will be generally happy. Because it's your job, you are here for this, and that's like most important.
Remember that first season, the expectations were very big. We finished the regular season first, and then this well-remembered playoffs, quarterfinal playoffs, game number 1, a big surprise because they beat us here in Bolswava, and then it was tied. We even winning for 2-1. They made it even, and the game number 5.
I need to say one thing. I know that Josip was sure that we would beat Charlie because at the day of the 5th game, his mom came to the final game, and she wanted
on that day, game number 5.
Yes,
she came directly to the game because I was asked to help her to enter the arena, and yeah.
She didn't come for Charlie game. She came for semifinals.
Playoffs, yes. Definitely Josip wants to be with a couple of days here, right?
And we were, but she wasn't coming on games.
You could take her for fishing already, right?
We went to see some things like here, and but there was no games. And it was playoffs. Playoffs, you never know how much it lasts. These things happen, so she came. And it happens. So
for us, that playoffs lasted around 10 days, maybe. That was the biggest. Was it the biggest disappointment of your basketball life?
Let's say it is. There are some things like in a split. We were out of Adriatic League, but disappointment is from this point. It's funny because
from this point
we are laughing. Yeah. This we were not laughing at this time. Of course, it's a big disappointment for us, for a team, for fans, for everything. But whatever happens after 5, 6, 7 years, you see some like bad things. What was bad, very bad. Like it's so what? It was a long time ago, and so next year we won championship.
Yeah, bad thing turned out into a championship.
The pass, yeah.
Yeah, so as you see it from now, bad things happen, then good things happen, like you cannot know. So it's the things were good set even this year, that year with Charlie, and the next year when we won championship, well, almost the same set, all good. Sometimes it happens. Bad result, sometimes good. You cannot affect directly in this result. That was playoff. Like everybody can beat. Everybody has chances. Like
that's true. After the season 16-17 and this short playoffs, getting beaten by Charlie, we thought that we will not be able to keep you here, because we knew that the budget will be decreased for sure. And such a good guy like Josip will have a couple of offers from other clubs.
And we couldn't compete in European competitions, which I think it was some kind of factor for you to sign another contract, right?
It's always like to play European competitions. Is that like that important about signing or not signing? Like, I don't know, maybe. But as I remember, budget was smaller, right?
Much smaller.
Yeah, I don't remember exactly with that situation. There was any other offer, but there was offer from Annual, probably smaller. I don't remember. But still, like it was. After this, it's weird feeling. Like you were here, you did your best. You played okay, you played good all season. We were first, and then this happens. So like you didn't do your job. Till the end, you have some empty space in your brain, in here, in admin. So like when we agreed again, when we extend contract, and what happened next year and the next after, I'm glad I stayed.
I remember that before that second season, our assistant coaches, Marcin Woźniak, especially responsible for scouting, but together with Grzegorz, they were looking for centers with smaller budget, and they were unhappy that all those guys have like 50% of what you presented, and they said, Josip have everything, like he practices for 100%, and look at this guy, he's missing that, he's missing other things. So like it was really high level, you played really high level, you practiced well, and it's was it harder to stay for second season like before signing first season, or it didn't really matter?
I don't know. It's easier to stay somewhere because when you go somewhere new, I mean, some players like to go somewhere new. Me, I like to prefer to stay somewhere because you know when you come back what you expect exactly. Who is the coach, the fans, the people, guys in the club, everything you know. So you don't need 2-3 months to learn this all over again, to see how to communicate with everybody and everything. So I think it's easier when you stay like another year than when you first time come somewhere.
What do you remember from this championship, winning championship, this 6-game playoffs against Ostrów, or maybe the game number 6, or generally the celebration? What do you remember the most?
Most I remember like coming from a bus from Ostrów, and how I know the fans here, I know everything, full gym, but this level of enjoyment I didn't expect. It was like more than I expected, because when we was coming from a bus, even small towns near
30 kilometers.
They were stopping us, we were going out of the bus. It was unbelievable, like everywhere, not in Wrocław, around the cities. It was something unbelievable. And then the day after, we went with this bus around, and open bus, yeah, and everybody was outside. We knew this, but like the guys that were not outside, they were on the balconies. So I don't know if one man or woman in this city was not seeing us or congratulating or something. It was unbelievable. That's why it first come to my head.
Okay, for sure everyone remembers that, but I would like you to remind the story from inside the bus when you were coming from Ostrów to Wrocław. Do you remember the song you were singing?
The Croatian song?
Yeah.
But yeah.
Because everyone knows it was like a party on the bus, inside the bus. Everyone was enjoying time, but nobody expected that suddenly this silent Josip, who speaks out loud very, very seldom, decides to sing a song aloud for everyone. Some Croatian song which we didn't understand. Only Igor did.
It's like classic celebration song, but like because I'm quiet, but when it comes to after for celebrating this kind of big things and achievements, of course I can sing too. And I can be happy and enjoy and show my other face.
How did you, because that was a big celebration, as you said, how did you celebrate the second championship? You didn't play in the playoffs because of the injury.
Yeah, I didn't play, and it was then. That's why it was a lot of different for me, and because like I was with the team, I felt I was on celebration, I was on the games, I was everywhere. But if I didn't play, and then I saw how different it is from last year, because when you play, you give yourself to that. You become more part of it. Your success is like more how you gave it to the team. When I was injured, like I felt it wasn't like that. I tried to be with the team, everything, but I felt completely different the year before. So the celebration, I don't remember. We were somewhere private, but it wasn't for me like the year before. With emotion, I mean with emotions, and
Yes.
I was more emotional the year before when I was playing where we won. And this year when I was injured, I was like I was happy about the championship, of course, but in the other hand, you are a little bit sad that you couldn't participate more in it. And it's normal. Maybe somebody will say it's how you think about this, like, but it's normal for a athlete thinking that you want to give your best and be part of success the more you can.
Okay. You said that you always want to give your best. You always do 100%. And everyone which I was speaking to before the interview, and I know you for years, so I know it, everyone underlies he always does everything 100%. Kamil Łączyński, Marcin Woźniak, Grzegorz Korzan, every single Igor Milicic, every single guy, 100%. But you never said that basketball is your love or passion. You always repeat that it's just your job.
Yeah, I do, and I think like this.
You think like this. Can you spread this answer? Can you say something more about your attitude?
Okay, let's say you have a job and you have your hobbies and the things you love. Like, let's say I love fishing. So if I'm home and I want to do something what I like, I would go fishing. I wouldn't go for basketball. And basketball is my job, and this job you have to be professional, have responsibilities, play 100%. So that's why I do it like this. But just like it's not that when, let's say, practice is finished, I go home, some guys will open a EuroLeague game, I will watch fishing channel or cook something. And that's why I enjoy other things. It's normal to me. I don't know why you people, it's weird that they think about it.
It's not weird, but you know how it is. For example, fans watch games every 2 weeks, home games, right? And they see Josip Sobin diving for the ball or just jumping between the players, giving 100%, fighting with his elbows. And they say he's a true a Rottweiler. He's our guy. He put his heart into every single action. And it's true. But suddenly, people don't think that because for example, if we ask 100 people right now, I'm sure 99 of them will say that you watch EuroLeague games, NBA games, Croatian League games, you analyze your opponents all the time and things like this. It's a normal fan thinking. I think so. I'm guessing, but I remember myself as a fan a couple of years ago. That was my thinking, for example.
Let's say there is a job that you have to analyze. I'm watching sometimes some players, some moves that I want to implement, but that's for a reason, not because I don't have nothing to do and watched. But I really don't know how to I give myself because I give all of myself because it's my responsibility. Like I feel very responsible to the club that pays me, to the fans that support me, to my teammates that trust me, to my coaches, and that's the main reason. And these other things, like in our free time, people want to do or watch basketball or do some other things. Like I prefer to do other things, and that's like simple explanation to me.
Have you ever done any fishing in your life?
Never.
I just 3 times or 4 times, and I never caught anything.
That's your problem. That's why I watch a fishing channel to learn how to fish, so I catch, and you are watching basketball. Or I don't know what.
Have you ever been fishing here in Wrocław?
No.
On the river, on the lake? No.
Would you like to?
Maybe we'll try one day. I think Luke Petrasek was trying.
I don't know, I didn't hear. I like, we are on a coast, on a sea, so it's like we're connected with the sea, like we do it on the sea, and I didn't even think about it on a river, lake, and something like that, although I know it can be done.
Our opponents do everything so we can go fishing after May 3rd, right?
No, it won't happen.
It will happen.
If that the brand, then we will play playoffs, so don't worry.
So how does it look like? A boat? Hours of being alone? I'm talking about your fishing. A boat, being alone, just, I don't know even how to say in English. What?
I think, or rod.
Rod that's true. So you are doing this gesture and what else? No phone right now?
No phone, like you cannot explain because you have to be there. It's some feeling about, you hear some waves, you clear your head, you don't think about the job, problems, something, you clear your head, you do what is peaceful, what you enjoy. I think everybody has something like this to do, just for me is this kind of stuff. Most is about calmness and enjoyment in nature, and just like if there is city life like this, what we say in work, this is completely opposite. No city, no people to relax. Catching is like the least important.
I know a funny story that it's not only about fishing by this road, but it's also about, I don't know, putting some cages on the bottom of the sea, and it was Kamil who told me a story that you took him on a boat to the sea, and you let him alone on the boat, but you dive into the water, just noticed where you are and just checked what was inside, like some kind of octopuses or things like this.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not only about sitting and...
No, there is a lot of different disciplines, let's say. You can throw in a sea, you can fishing with a rod, that's one out of 20 things. Like you can put this, like it's like net, under the sea, and then fish can go in but cannot get out. It's made like this. So Kamil was in Croatia one summer near our place, and we contacted and we hang out a little bit, and I took him with the boat so he could see, and he was like, what is this?
He just told me that there was empty sea, that he couldn't locate where you are, but you dive into the water.
Okay, of course he couldn't, but I was a lot of time there, and I did it a lot of times, so I know where is this. So I did what I did 100 times. You take it out and you check it. If there is fish, you take fish out, and for me it's usual. He was like, what is this? He couldn't believe.
This fishing is connected with the second of your passion, cooking.
Yes, of course it is.
Can you cook every single fish or seafood?
Seafood, let's say I can, but I have some things that I know make very, very nice, but like professional cooks know everything to make good. Of course, me no, but let's say I have some fishing meals that I can cook, and it's connected to the fishing because like when you go fishing, if you catch some, and then you're with your family or with your friends, you make barbecue, and then you on barbecue you put that fish, how you say,
Grill it.
grill it, yeah, grill it, and then it's like sense of it's hanging with the friends, eating fish, some wine maybe.
Come on, you're Croatian, not maybe.
Of course,
Typically.
it's maybe for a
We are in the off season. In this conversation, we are in off season.
then a wine, of course. It's like kind of living. You enjoy if it's day off, free day, nice weather. You want to do this, like go fishing, then with your friends, enjoy barbecue. It's all connected, like of course.
"2019, Josip Sobin as a part of the championship team doesn't get an offer from Igor Milicic, who is building the so-called dream team. He wants to go out from the group in BCL. Instead of you, we signed Milan Milovanovic, and you have to look for some offers from abroad or from Poland. How did you feel at that moment?"
The same coach who was bringing you here, and he was insisting on bringing you here, even before.
It's hard to say. First, I was sad that I was going after 3 years, because as I told before, after time in Connect and after the successes. But I don't know exactly like how to say this. I was more considering this as like it's a job, it's professional and
The business.
part of the business. Like,
But still harsh feelings.
yeah, it is. It was, but in the end, it's professionalism, and you just have to know that's the job, and you will leave. You will find somewhere else, and there is not too much to break your head and thoughts about it. That's how it is.
You were very close to sign with us a year after, before Stal Ostrów, I think, because our new coach at that moment, Dejan Michels, was thinking about you.
Yeah, but I heard this, but at the time I don't remember it was that close. That one.
Maybe
I
it was
remember Arek Lewandowski was really angry that your agents didn't let us know that you are available and you want to come back to Poland, and you sign with Stal really quick in the season.
You appeared in Stal Ostrów, one of our opponents.
That's another about this why did you go somewhere question that I cannot answer, because there is always a lot of things, especially there was a Corona year before. You didn't expect what now it's easy to say, but then it was cancelled championship. What will happen? Will we even play? What will be the contracts and all of this stuff? So it was like extra more important to find a job quicker. I don't know, at least for me. So I really cannot say why I went somewhere or anywhere. A lot of things.
Do you remember the first game of that season in when you were playing for Ostrów?
Yeah, it was here.
It was here.
It was here, and that was
Hard moment for you?
yeah, it was hard moment. Emotional.
Emotional.
It's normal, like what happened here and what I felt here, everything, and then you come with another club, and I remember like ovation to me. I felt like proud, but it's very weird and very hard to play like this when you have that all the emotions coming out of you.
Especially for the person, because maybe right now the fans got to know you better. You are introvert, but you are very much emotional guy. I read you like this, that you feel all the emotions inside it. and that game against Anvil, the first game of the season, had to be very extraordinary for you.
It was, and like normal sport and athlete behavior in these situations for everybody for sure is you wanna play good, you wanna win, you wanna show that you belonged here, and that's normal. But after this, all kinds of emotions, like it's hard to do it because emotions like takes some energy from you. It's fact, and it's more better chances to play good is when you're like whole head, what they say, not full of emotions. So I played not good, and we lost, and I remember. But like from now, it's everything funny is this.
From everything
Yeah,
fine.
but then I was like pissed and emotional and everything. But
Do you remember any specific moment when Josip showed any emotions on the game?
Yes, because PLK already does the clips. If Josip is showing some extra.
It was this year game against
against Torun.
Torun. What was that?
That's the emotions that I keep inside, and somebody goes out. It was Torun game, and we had some bad streak, losing streak. Then we win 2-3 games, and we went in Torun away game, and we won, and like we were happy that, like we were emotional, and then it went out.
But it wasn't any specific action. You just, I think you made a basket.
Yeah, I scored.
You scored it suddenly, because even the commentators of the game, they were thinking about, hey, what's going on with this guy.
Yeah, that was not special moment. That's
Nothing special,
Yeah.
but you burst like a crazy.
I don't know. I remember I got in the game like so. Then I later picked it up and I played very good second half. So I was like, I took it out. I don't know why and why then. Don't ask me. Just I was happy.
It just happened.
Yeah.
We'll come back to the second to the season in the Ostrów, just for one thing. As I talked to Josip before going to Gaziantep, he's got FIBA Europe Cup final experience, right?
Yeah.
That season finished well with the championship of Stal, but also you went to the finals. Do you think, Josip, we can at least repeat what started that season with Admiral now?
Now we play against Karku and we already play against them, so we know we can beat them. Will we? Of course, we don't know, but we'll prepare and do everything the same. We lost at home, like by 1 point, right? And their place, we beat them like more.
6 points.
6 points. We play very good there. So we just showed to ourselves and everybody we can beat them, and if we do, we will be in finals, right?
In the finals.
So that's the way. What you asking?
These finals, we've got potential to do it for sure. We've got potential to do it, but also we've got potential to do these playoffs this season without any doubts. How hard situation is for you? I mean, not for you, but also other players right now. Mental situation. When you are still thinking, still struggling, still trying to find yourself on the court.
It's completely different than in a FIBA Cup in Polish, because you see everybody who is watching now us would say like it's completely different team, like in Poland and there, and people maybe don't. It's hard to understand how is this, but for me it's very understandable. As I can say from my experience, because I know the feeling when you go to the game and there is no pressure like FIBA game. They're much better team, more expensive, Gaziantep, and you have you can win a lot, and not a lot to lose. Like nobody expects you to go, so it's very very difficult, different in the head of every player, probably coaches, everybody. Then it's for people that are watching games. Trust me, it is. So I think that's the reason. And in Poland we struggle currently, and we have to pick it up, get the playoffs, and that's why we don't produce this kind of games recently in Poland like we do in the FIBA Cup.
Basketball was your track from the very beginning because your dad was playing on a very high level.
Yeah. I don't know, because somebody would say maybe that my father pushed me or something, but that was not true, even close. Like, he didn't even say to me, go there. Like, but you know, as a kid, you know your father played, then you start go to one practice, 2, 3, and it's stayed like that. I kept going. So it's connected with this, with my father's playing, but it was not from this pushed or something, like not even a little bit.
You even said that your favorite player is not your father, it's Dino Lache, right? I read some...
You found this in some interview in Croatia, I know, but it was some jokes with this journalist and...
Okay.
And
He took you seriously.
No, you don't know him, but it was like more joke. But I like Dino Raja as a player too, so I watched some games, and I worked with him personally on the court. He was helping me to develop in Split. So
Your father, if we can say a bit more, played with really big names of ex-Yugoslavian basketball, like Toni Kukoc as well, right?
yeah.
And so did you have occasion to work with other big names like with Dino Raja?
No. Just with Dino Raja. He was living in Split at that time, and he was helping me. He was coming to our practices in Split and teaching us some things. He was even president of the club before this time, but not the other guys. But I watched. Although I said I don't watch a lot of basketball. These games from this time, I was watching a lot because it was different. It was because of my father, of course, and it was like unbelievable story how the small club, like unbelievably small club at that time, won the EuroLeague. It was like unbelievable.
For every kid, his father is very important person. And you switched your number from 13, you were playing for 3 years here in Wrocław, into 8. It was the moment in MKS, Dąbrowa Górnicza, because of your father was playing with that number on his t-shirt, on his jersey?
Yeah. He was wearing 8 in Jugoplastika, and it was in Split. And 13 was occupied, so I chose the 8. But generally I have nothing with these numbers, like some special, like. And here was 13, maybe I can say that. Everybody may be expecting I will take 13. But let's say like it was before, we did what we did, but it's the past. You cannot live from the past. Like you have to come, if you are coming, you have to do all over again this to have support, and I don't know. You cannot. I don't like to connect a lot with this. What happened 3-4 years ago? We won, so no. Like we have to. You have to prove yourself all over again all the time. That's the point of sport.
But Josip, do you know that we could have really big problem in the future because of that?
Why?
Because if your jersey is gonna be restricted under the roof of the Hanabi shop, we don't want to we don't know which number to choose, number 13 or 8.
That you will have to decide, but but I know which the players that got the jersey up played a lot of time and seasons and did a lot of things, so it's very hard.
You got 4 seasons already, 2 championship, Polish Cup, right? So
There is an option in your contract you will stay for another season.
Yeah,
who knows what will happen?
who knows?
This door is pretty open right now.
Who knows? But I don't think about it right now. Like, if it happens, like that would be proud, of course.
Yeah, right now he's thinking about Sunday game because 100% professionalism.
It is, and it's not funny because you have to only think about this. It's that kind of work. You have the game, next practice. You have to come concentrated, eat good, sleep good, and it's all about the next one. Same like the seasons. It's not about championship 2018. It's about this year what can happen.
This
What
year,
not
this
happen.
moment.
Yeah, it's always like this.
I know we are coming slowly to
Yeah.
the end, but I'd like to ask about this season, the option that all clubs from Poland received, that your agent spread news Josip is gonna be on the market, and Przemek Rasunkiewicz decision to bring you here. Another cooperation with Kamil Łączyński. So why was it? Why you decided to be on the market and look for possibility to play somewhere, because you had 2-year deal with MKS?
It's again hard to answer, of course. As I said, like a lot of things happened, but there was like nothing special. I had contract, but maybe I could find something else, and the Anvil is, of course, for me on a bigger spot in me. So when the opportunity came, I just picked it up. Like, there is.
I know the story from Michał Bobakowski because he left a couple of months before you. He left to us during that previous season.
Remember before.
And he told me that you were laughing and joking that, hey, stay there and I'll be next one who join.
That was really a joke, and nothing.
I know that
about-
pretty other version, but I cannot say it loud right now.
It was really a joke because we were together in Anvil before.
Yeah.
Now we were here together. Then he left, so I said, "Okay, I'm coming with you, of course," but has nothing to do with my coming here, and just a joke.
Okay.
This cooperation with Kamil, I want to.
There's
Everyone says this is your like trademark already. Pick and roll Kamil Łączyński with Josip.
Yeah, there were only 2 in world basketball history: John Stockton, Karol Malone, and Kamil Łączyński, Josip Sobin.
What to say? Like, Kamil is watching for a pass always, and I'm watching to score. I don't know. Sometimes you find yourself like this with somebody, and after years, it's much easier because you know exactly what he will do, and he know what I will do. So, like you can say, like we can play with eyes closed. Like we know what to expect, where he will go, without knowing, you know. And that's it. Like this is like 4th year together, and I like to play with him. What can I say more?
What we can say more? Both of you are in the Hall of Fame team. We are glad to have you
here.
together. So we hope that this cooperation, together with other teammates, will give us the goals that we had before the season. And
I hope it too. And I can say, like, I believe in the team, coaches. I really do. And sometimes you get the better results, sometimes worse. But I really believe that we can do something. But the time will show, of course.
I think it's around 1 hour interview, so yeah, I think
This is biggest in my life, and you will never get one of those again. Trust me.
this was supposed to be my next question, so you answered already. Josip, thank you so much. Dziękujemy Ci bardzo za ten czas i za ten wysiłek. Thank you for your effort and all of the answers.
You're welcome. Thank you too.
Dziękujemy bardzo.